Welcome to this brief podcast of Spiritual Awakening Radio, a brief introduction to Sant Mat, the path of the masters, an introduction to Sant Mat and Radhasoami, India's saints and mystic poets, lovers of the beloved, and their spiritual practice known as Surit Yoga, or meditation upon the inner light and sound of God. A brief summary of the teachings of Sant Mat, the path of the masters. All souls, or jivas, are in essence drops of love from the ocean of God. The attachment and association with mind and body make the soul lose sight of the real self. So God assumes the form of a saint or sant to lead the soul back to its original home. One must surrender one's entire being to the ocean of love of which we are a part, instead of limiting ourselves to sensual pleasures which leave us distracted, unhappy, and discontented. This can be done by the practice of Surit Yoga, inner light and sound meditation. By attuning oneself to the life current which proceeds from the heart of Anami Parush, the Supreme Being, also known as the Nameless One, Lord of the Soul, Radhasoami or Satyaram. In the form of light and sound, one can finally achieve union with the true self, finding the joy one is seeking. 7 teachings of Sant Mat. God is real, 1. 2. God is love, the ocean of love and compassion. 3. All the world scriptures teach about the same manifestation of God as inner mystical light and sound. The Logos, the Word, the Tao, the song of the Creator, the song of creation, music of the spheres, etc. 4. Our true identity is soul, the self. Soul is part of God and therefore is, like God, pure love. 5. During this human existence, we have an opportunity to experience God. 6. As we experience communing with God's love during meditation, we can rise above body consciousness and explore inner space, the kingdom of the heavens that are within us. As Swami Sant Seviji Maharaj once said, we travel back from the realm of darkness to the realm of light, from the light to divine sound, and from the realm of sound to the soundless state, called by some Anami, Radhasoami, Anadi Parush, the formless God, ultimate reality. The drop merges back into the ocean of love, the Anurag Sagar. And 7, as we get initiated into the mysteries of the Spirit by a living teacher, a Sant Sat Guru, a living master, the purpose of our life is fulfilled. Reuniting with God is our reason to be here. As it says in the Adi Granth, it was for the sake of the God-conscious beings that our true Lord created this earth and began this play of death and birth. As Guru Kabir once said, for millions of years you have slept. This morning, will you not wake? Seven stages of mystic ascension, according to Sant Mat. 1. Praise. Pretty standard, actually. Bhakti. Devotion. Singing praises, banis, bhajans, kirtans, odes, psalms. In other words, hymns, composed by the masters. 2. Prayer. Communion with God, conversations with God. 3. The first stage of meditation, Mana's jap, also called Simran or Zikr. Mentally repeating or chanting the sacred names, the name or names of God, the mantra of God's name. 4. The second stage of meditation, Mana's dhyana, visualizing the form of one's ideal or living master. 5. The third stage of meditation, Drishti sadhana, seeing inner light at the third eye center, contemplating the inner light. 6. Which is the fourth stage of meditation, Nada sadhana, Surat Shabda yoga, transcendental hearing, hearing and meditating upon and merging into the inner sound. And finally, 7, reaching Kavalya, oneness with soundlessness, the nameless one who is beyond the light and sound, Anami Parush, the formless supreme being, supreme state, the ocean of love, beyond all forms, beyond all lights, beyond all sounds. The final stage of meditation and the goal of the practice. Ingredients of a living spiritual path, 7 Gnostic Sant Mat parallels. In the Corpus Hermeticum and Nag Hammadi scriptures are or were described all of the ingredients of a living, viable, mystic path. Sant Mat is like that, only now, here in the 21st century. 1. Living masters, living teachers with students. Past masters, scrolls, cuneiform tablets, old scriptures are not enough. A living guide, a living one, is required. 2. A cosmology that includes several different heavens, inner regions, planes, or spheres. 3. An understanding that souls can access these realms here and now during this present life, a present tense kingdom of heaven, available to souls right now. Not a spirituality postponed till some magical date on a calendar or a hypothesized future age. Right now. 4. An initiation by a living master into the mysteries of the heavens, imparting to spiritual seekers the meditation techniques and sacred names. 5. Visionary and auditory mysticism, transcendental seeing and hearing, inner light and sound, descriptions of souls traveling within, exploring the various inner regions, spiritual sight, spiritual hearing, spiritual interaction, soul travel. 6. The masters have an ethical code, and this ethical foundation includes a vegetarian diet, freedom from intoxicants, and following a peaceful way of life, inner and outer peace. And 7. The goal of the teachings, the goal of the practice, is experiencing union with God in the highest of heavens, Pleroma, Sachkhand, the timeless, eternal spiritual realm. Seven key practices of Sant Mat mysticism. 1. Satsang. Satsang meetups, association with the saints, which also can include the study of their writings and scriptures. 2. Selfless service of a spiritual master, also known as Siva. 3. Love for God, or Bhakti. 4. Moral rectitude, ethical standards. 5. Purity of heart. 6. Japa, the repetition of a divine name, also called Simran. The most often repeated refrain of the Masters is, repeat God's name day and night, again and again. Repeat God's name. And 7, meditation. In the practice of meditation, both gross and subtle meditations are described. In subtle meditation of the Bindu point, meditation of inner light, and meditation of inner sound, also known as Surit Shabda Yoga. The ethical foundation of Sant Mat, Ahimsa values, the 5 precepts. These are moral requirements to qualify for initiation by a living master. 1. Abstinence from alcohol and intoxicants. 2. Ahimsa, non-violence in thought, word, and deed, including in the area of diet, as in following a vegan diet, abstinence from animal products, or vegetarian diet, as in lacto-vegetarian diet, abstinence from meat, fish, and eggs. As Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras once said, in Sant Mat all masters have decried killing and the eating of meat. 3. Leading a truthful life. 4. Practicing non-stealing, or in other words, an honest, ethical source of income. 5. Loyalty to one's spouse or partner. Another version of the 5 precepts. Refrain from taking the life of sentient beings. This precept also requires strict adherence to a vegan diet or lacto-vegetarian diet, depending on the master and the path. Veganism is catching on these days and is redefining what it means to be a vegetarian. 2. Refrain from speaking what is not true. 3. Refrain from taking what is not yours. 4. Refrain from sexual misconduct. And 5. Refrain from using intoxicants. Initiation into Surit Shabda Yoga, inner light and sound meditation by a living master or Sansat Guru. There's a great verse from the Gospel of Thomas that really describes this so well, saying 17. What your own eyes cannot see, your human ears do not hear, your physical hands cannot touch, and what is inconceivable to the human mind, that I will give you. In Sant Mat, the path of the masters, the complete methods and secrets of meditation practice are communicated at the time of initiation or diksha by a living master, truly defined as being a Sansat Guru, a competent, qualified teacher, or a representative of such a master. A living teacher, being fully acquainted with the landscape of inner space, is able to impart to initiate candidates valuable guidance on how to safely make the journey of ascension through the inner regions during meditation practice within. This kind of spiritual transmission and the details of Surit Shabda Yoga practice are not to be found in books or on websites or in old scriptures of the past, are not for sale as part of some membership in some multi-level marketing scheme, but are given freely to seekers by a living master. At the time of one's initiation, one vows to practice meditation. The spiritual path is a lifelong process and commitment. And in conclusion, a mystic poem of Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, the person who coined the term Sant Mat, the great saint who coined the term Sant Mat. Within this body breathes the secret essence. Within this body breathes the secret essence. Within this body beats the heart of the scriptures, the Vedas. Within this body shines the entire universe, so the saints reveal. Hermits, ascetics, celibates, all are lost, seeking him in endless guises. Seers and sages perfectly parrot the scriptures and holy books, blinded by intellect. Their pilgrimage and fasting and striving but delude. Despite their perfect way, they discover no destination. Only the saints who know the body's heart have attained the ultimate, O Tulsi. Realize this, and you've found your freedom, while teachers trapped in tradition know only the mirage in the mirror. A brief introduction to Sant Mat, the path of the masters.